The Conquistador's Quest. In 1519, young Mateo de Vargas set sail from Spain, his heart aflame with dreams of gold and glory. The tales of Hernán Cortés' expedition to the New World had reached his village. As their ship cut through the Atlantic waves, Mateo gazed at the horizon, imagining the riches that awaited. The New World was a land of untold wealth and mystery. Weeks later, the Spanish fleet arrived on the shores of Mexico. Stepping onto the unfamiliar land, Mateo felt a mix of fear and excitement. His quest had truly begun. Cortés welcomed new recruits with a stern look. He was a man of ambition, driven to conquer the Aztec Empire. Mateo admired his leader's unwavering resolve. The journey inland was arduous. The dense jungle teemed with strange creatures and the air was thick with humidity. Mateo's resolve was tested with each step. As the Spaniards marched, they encountered native tribes. Some were hostile, while others, like the Tlalocs, offered uneasy alliances, driven by their own grievances against the Aztecs. Mateo's eyes widened at his first sight of Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital. It was a city of grandeur, built on an island in a vast lake, unlike anything he'd ever seen. The Aztec ruler, Moctezuma, greeted Cortés with gifts of gold, hoping to appease the invaders. Mateo marveled at the treasures, but he also sensed Moctezuma's fear. Days turned into weeks as the Spaniards settled in Tenochtitlan. Mateo befriended a local boy named Tlaloc, who spoke some Spanish and shared tales of Aztec gods and heroes. Tlaloc's stories fascinated Mateo. The Aztecs' rich culture and their reverence for nature struck a chord within him. He began to question his mission's righteousness. Tensions rose as Cortés demanded more gold, straining the uneasy peace. The Spaniards' greed and the Aztecs' pride clashed, creating an atmosphere ripe for conflict. One evening, Mateo stood on a rooftop, gazing at the temple pyramids. He felt a pang of guilt. Were they bringing civilization or destruction to this land? When news arrived of a Spanish force landing on the coast to arrest Cortés, he left Tenochtitlan, leaving Mateo and a small garrison behind. They were vulnerable. The Aztecs, sensing weakness, revolted. The streets of Tenochtitlan erupted in chaos. Mateo fought desperately, but the sheer number of warriors overwhelmed them. Mateo was captured and brought before Moctezuma. Instead of execution, the ruler spoke with him. He saw Mateo's uncertainty and sought to understand the invaders. During his captivity, Mateo learned more about the Aztec way of life. He saw their artistry, their ceremonies, and the deep connection they had with their gods. Moctezuma treated Mateo with a curious blend of suspicion and respect. He hoped to use Mateo to broker peace, but mistrust and cultural differences loomed large. Cortés returned with reinforcements and laid siege to Tenochtitlan. The city's defenders fought valiantly, but the Spaniards' superior weaponry gradually took its toll. As the siege dragged on, disease ravaged the Aztec population. Smallpox, brought by the Spaniards, decimated them. Mateo was horrified by the suffering he witnessed. Amid the carnage, Mateo found Tlaloc's family. They were sick, weak, and frightened. He tried to help them with what little medicine he had, feeling helpless. Mateo's heart ached as he saw the Aztec world crumbling. The quest for gold and glory seemed hollow now. He wondered if he could find redemption for his part in this. The final assault on Tenochtitlan was brutal. The Spaniards fought their way through the city, house by house. Mateo fought mechanically, his spirit crushed. When the city finally fell, the once magnificent Tenochtitlan was in ruins. Cortés declared victory, but the cost was immeasurable. Mateo stood among the rubble, devastated. As the spoils were divided, Mateo felt no joy in the riches. Gold seemed a poor compensation for the lives lost and the culture destroyed. His conscience gnawed at him. Cortés, triumphant, began to establish Spanish rule. Temples were torn down, and churches built in their place. Mateo helped, but his heart wasn't in it. One day, Mateo found Tlaloc at a makeshift camp for survivors. The boy's eyes were filled with sorrow, but also a glimmer of hope. They spoke of the future. Tlaloc asked Mateo why he fought against them. Mateo struggled to answer. He spoke of orders and duty, but they felt like empty excuses. He wanted to atone. Seeking redemption, Mateo decided to stay in Mexico. He offered his skills to help rebuild, not as a conqueror, but as a friend. It was a small step toward healing. Mateo and Tlaloc worked side by side. They planted crops, built shelters, and shared stories. Slowly, trust grew between the Spaniard and the Aztec boy. As months passed, Mateo learned the Nahuatl language. He embraced the local customs and traditions, finding beauty in the Aztec way of life he once sought to destroy. Cortés noticed Mateo's change. He warned him against getting too close to the natives, fearing it would weaken their rule. But Mateo's resolve was firm. Mateo argued that true strength lay in understanding and cooperation. He believed they could build a new society, one that respected both cultures. The road to reconciliation was fraught with challenges. Some Spaniards viewed Mateo as a traitor, while some Aztecs couldn't forgive the past. But he persevered. Mateo taught Tlaloc to read and write in Spanish, while Tlaloc taught Mateo about Aztec history and philosophy. Their bond symbolized hope for a new future. Word of Mateo's efforts reached both the Spanish authorities and Aztec leaders. Some saw him as a bridge between worlds, while others saw a threat to their power. Despite the danger, Mateo continued his work. He organized meetings between Spanish and Aztec leaders, advocating for mutual respect and cooperation. One day, Tlaloc presented Mateo with a handmade necklace, a symbol of their friendship. Mateo was deeply moved. It represented the harmony he dreamed of. Mateo's efforts began to bear fruit. Small communities of Spaniards and Aztecs started working together, blending their knowledge and skills for the common good. Cortés, seeing the positive changes, reluctantly allowed Mateo's initiatives to continue. He couldn't deny that stability was returning to the region. Mateo's transformation inspired others. More Spaniards questioned their actions, and more Aztecs saw the possibility of a future where they weren't just subjects. News of Mateo's work spread. Other conquistadors and native leaders visited to learn from their example. Mateo's dream of a united, respectful society gained traction. Despite progress, there were setbacks. Some resisted change violently. Mateo faced threats and attacks, but his commitment never wavered. He believed in his cause. Tlaloc stood by Mateo through it all. Their friendship was a beacon of hope, showing that despite their differences, they could find common ground and thrive. Years passed, and the scars of conquest began to heal. New generations grew up with a blended heritage of Spanish and Aztec cultures, learning from both worlds. Mateo, now older and wiser, looked back on his journey. He had come seeking gold and glory but found something far more valuable: understanding and redemption. The once divided land saw the emergence of a new society. Schools taught both Spanish and Nahuatl, and festivals celebrated a mix of traditions. Mateo and Tlaloc became symbols of unity. They were invited to speak at gatherings, sharing their story of friendship and the importance of mutual respect. As he walked through the bustling streets of the rebuilt city, Mateo felt a sense of pride. The conquest had brought suffering, but also a chance for a new beginning. Mateo and Tlaloc's bond was a testament to the power of empathy and courage. They showed that even the deepest wounds could heal with time and effort. On quiet evenings, Mateo would sit by the lake, reflecting on his past and the journey that transformed him. He knew he had found his true purpose. Mateo's story spread across the land, inspiring others to embrace the spirit of cooperation and respect. He became a legend in his own right, a different kind of hero. Tlaloc grew into a wise leader, guiding his people with compassion. His friendship with Mateo was a cornerstone of the new society they built together. As Mateo's life neared its end, he felt at peace. He had found redemption and made amends for his past. His legacy would be one of unity, not conquest. Mateo's final days were spent among friends, both Spanish and Aztec. He had forged a family of choice, united by shared values and mutual respect. When Mateo passed away, the community mourned but celebrated his life. He was remembered as a bridge between two worlds, a man who chose understanding over glory. Tlaloc, now an elder, continued Mateo's work. He taught the younger generation about the importance of empathy and the power of cultural exchange. The society they built stood as a testament to their vision. Mateo's dream of a harmonious, blended culture was realized, thriving long after he was gone. Legends of Mateo and Tlaloc's friendship became a cornerstone of local folklore, teaching children the value of unity, respect, and the true meaning of heroism. And so, in the heart of the land that once saw conquest and division, a new chapter was written. A story of redemption, unity, and the enduring power of friendship.